All right, so I want to talk about group dynamics. So there's a whole science of group dynamics that if you understand that, you can much better navigate all of the groups that you work in for group projects in high school and college and even in the workforce. Dr. Bruce Tuckman years ago came up with these 4 stages of group dynamics: forming, storming, norming, and performing. So the forming stage is when you're just meeting the other members of your group. Easiest way to navigate this stage is to really just work to learn everybody's name and interests and some of their strengths and weaknesses and what they're passionate about. You want to try to get a lot of information about the talents of your group. Again, make sure you know their name and maybe just a little bit more about them. That's the forming stage. After that stage, it's very natural we all end up in the storming phase. The storming phase is when we're starting to try to do this activity, but we keep bumping into each other or stepping on somebody's toes, or something happens that's just a small little minor conflict, or sometimes even a bigger conflict. And this storming phase really helps us start to learn where everybody's kind of boundaries are in what they're interested in, what they do, and how we can kind of make and function as a group. And it naturally leads to the norming phase. The easiest way to get through your storming phase is to quickly start collecting some norms and agreements on how the group should function, right? So like, hey, I'm going to be the recorder and I'll write down some of the things that we said, and talking about delegation or having some agreements on how we're going to treat each other in the group. But the faster you can get to starting to set those, the least amount of time you'll spend in that storming phase. The last stage is performing. Once you have some really comfortable and agreed upon norms, now the whole group can really just start to perform. Not only that, but you can hopefully have a group that is better than the sum of its parts. There's a really cool synergy where everybody's working together, and together they're able to make more than any of the individuals could do alone, or even a collection of individuals. That's group dynamics. Now, the other piece of group dynamics is to understand that group projects and the activities you do, they're probably going to have some hiccups. You're probably going to need to be prepared for a plan B and how to bounce back from a failure or a struggle. You also need to make sure you're working on managing your emotions, because once we lose control, we're not a very good group member. So these dynamics, coupled with being able to be resilient when things go wrong and being able to manage our emotions, can make us a really good group member. And collaborating in groups and being a good team player is something that will be highly in demand in college, in your career, and the rest of your life.